Hey everybody, Lance here. I'm going to go over Trading in the Zone, Chapter 7, highlights and the discussion questions. This is where we get more into the meat and potatoes of what's actually due when you're trading. A lot of the first half of the book was just your mindset, thinking probabilities and whatnot. All right, so I know before getting into a trade how much I'm willing to let the market move against my position. There's always a point in which the odds of success are greatly diminished in relation to the profit potential. At that point, it's not worth spending any more money to find out if the trade is going to work. If the market reaches that point, I know without any doubt, hesitation, or internal conflict that I'll exit the trade. The loss doesn't create any emotional damage because I don't interpret the experience negatively. One of the key parts here is knowing what your stop loss and take profit is. It could be a stop loss based on a percent of the account, a percent of how much you might lose, or it could be a certain level. So if you're at near a support level, you see a candle go up, maybe you play a bullish move that'll continue upward. If it goes back to that same support level again, maybe you get out at that point. Having these things in place beforehand, knowing that you're okay with a certain loss and not having any emotional damage, is a good way to go. One of the key parts of the whole book, I think, a probabilistic mindset pertaining to trading consists of 5 fundamental truths. Anything can happen. You don't know what's going to happen next in order to make money. There's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another, and every moment in the market is unique. I save this on my Google Keep where I take my notes as one of the 2 main things that I look at very frequently. Anything can happen. Be aware of that. You're not going to know what's going to happen next in order to make money anyway. Because if you're having an edge with a probabilistic mindset, then you should be profitable over time. That's number 4. Random distribution of wins and losses. If you happen to see a few wins in a row, that's just a random distribution from your edge. If you see a few losses in a row, it's the same thing. And then every moment is unique. You're not sure what's going to happen in the future, anything can happen. And based on that, you just take the probabilities. We have to be rigid in our rules and flexible in our expectations. We need to be rigid in our rules so we gain a sense of self trust that can and always will protect us in the environment that has few, if any, boundaries. It also needs to be flexible in our expectations so we can perceive with the greatest degree of clarity and objectivity what the market is communicating to us from its perspective. Rigid in your rules is important because it's a boundless type service in trading. You could stay into a trade as long as you want, and you pick when you get out of it. So having those rigid rules in place based on your edge and based on probabilities is key. And then flexible in our expectations. You might look in back testing that you make X percent per year if you follow the trades, but you can't expect that to happen. Since we don't know what's going to happen in the market, you could have much different results in the short term period. Interestingly enough, the more rigid the expectation, the more you have to bend, violate, or break the rules in order to accommodate the unwillingness to give up what he wants in favor of the market is offering. There's nothing at stake because there's no expectations. You haven't projected what you believe, assume, or think you know about the market into some future moment. As a result, there's nothing to be either right or wrong about. So the information has no potential to take on a threatening or negatively charged quality. Since we're not sure what's going to happen in the future, the market might be going against us. The market's not coming out to get us. Sometimes you might take a trade and you stop out and you think it might be the big algos or big hedge funds that saw your stop and took you out before they made the positive move. But you're not sure what's going to happen. There's no potential to be negative about it. As long as you have definitely defined trading as a probability game, emotional responses to the outcome of any particular trade are how to the typical trader would feel while flipping a coin, calling heads, and seeing the coin come with tails. A wrong call, but most people believing wrong while predicting the flip of a coin would not tap them into the accumulated pain of every other time their lives have been wrong. Let's say you knew a coin that had a slight edge, and it might go heads 55% of the time instead of 50%, and then it happens to come with tails. You're not going to be really killing yourself here and being painful on it, right? Same idea goes with trading. You might have a probabilistic edge, but that doesn't mean it's always going to work. When you train your mind to think in probabilities, it means you've fully accepted all the possibilities and you always do something to take the unknown forces into account. Thinking this way is virtually impossible unless you've done the mental work necessary to let go of the need to know what's going to happen next or the need to be right on each trade. I've been mentioning this quite a bit in all these chapters. Thinking that you have to take the unknown into account is not going to really help in your trading. It's the ability to believe in the unpredictability of the game at the micro level and simultaneously believe in the predictability of the game at the macro level that makes casino and professional gamblers effective and successful at what they do. You want to take that same mindset for trading. Best traders treat trading like a numbers game, similar to the way in which casinos professional gamblers approach gambling as well. And they have different examples of coin flips also in blackjack. All right, let's look at the discussion questions. Notice I did post these five as five of the key things in the chapter. Why is it so difficult for most traders to truly think in probabilities? One is trading doesn't have any necessarily rules to it. You can get in and out at any time. Because we have to think in probabilities, then you could have that positive outcome over long-term periods without thinking, oh, this one particular trade didn't work out. What does Mark Douglas mean by having an edge, and how is it similar to casino's advantage? If you're in a casino and let's say you could count cards and know that there's more face cards in a deck over non-face cards, you bet more. And then if there's less face cards, you bet less. You'll have a slight edge if you're able to do that. And if you're able to come up with a trading strategy that has a similar edge, doesn't mean you're going to win every time, but based on probabilities over long periods of time on many trades, you probably will come out good. 3 is focusing on individual trade outcomes, harm a trader's consistency and mindset. So you want to think of a very long-term approach to when you're doing trading. I see a lot of members that will stay in a service for a month. They notice a few trades didn't work out, and then they leave, and they might have missed out on some very good long-term results in the end. See this happen time and time again. I think if you're worried about outcome with dollar amounts, use paper trades at first. Give trades at least a couple of months on a certain edge and certain strategy. If it doesn't work in the end, or you're not appreciative of the risk return, then you can move on. But definitely give it a shot. 4, in what ways can adopting a probabilistic mindset reduce emotional reactions like fear and greed? If you're doing trades like a robot, you take a trade, worked out, don't get happy about it, and don't be greedy trying to get even more money. Also, if you lose in a trade, don't be fearful that you can't put food on the table. Knowing it's based on probabilities and then not having emotion into a trade will help in getting the same long-term edge. How can traders track or measure whether an edge is truly working over time rather than judging based on short-term results? Keep a trade log. I manually put in my trades in a spreadsheet so I could get some input on what's actually happening. Some services will actually do this for you, but I like having that better brain-mind connection on what's actually happening in my trades. I used to actually write them down on a piece of paper to get more of the kinesthetic to, touch with my pen and then connect it to my visual and my brain. But tracking, if it's working over time, you could see in your data, okay, if I take this trade on this particular time period, then I have a certain percent win rate. If I take it at a different time period, maybe the win rate's lower. And then as you're doing a lot of data, either with back testing and or actually taking the trades forward testing, then you could see if there's certain data points that you might be able to take more advantage of. So if you know you have a better win rate in a certain time period, you probably want to take more size on those trades than others. And this is a good with a scientific mindset as a high school science teacher. We always want to be looking at some of the data, trying to test out our data, look at hypotheses on what might cause this to happen, and then tweak our experiments to see if something works. So again, if you have any other questions or thoughts, leave a comment down below. You can also write your thoughts on the Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next video.